Right, so I've just put a message in chat just to say hello to anyone that happens by. Hopefully that will stay up. If it doesn't, I'll learn how long the chat messages stay up for. So that's all good. So today we're just going to finish off the pens that we've been doing a week. We've got these 3 barrels to sand. We've got those caps and sections to finish off. These we've got to polish. So once they're sanded, they go into the second pot ready for polishing. Then what I'll do, once everything's done, I shall pause the camera, move everything over that direction, and then we'll polish everything. And you get to see the final pens. Well, hopefully if they don't need redoing like this one will. But I'll redo this one whilst I'm doing these, and I'll see if I can battle with this one to get the scratches out that we found yesterday. Oh, need my liquid. Here it is. So I don't know whether you can see it, but I've got my very high-tech sorting system for the sandpaper. Just go from there, dip in the liquid, turning at about 1300 RPM. It's literally just a case of sanding and talking nonsense. So at the moment I am listening to Spotify whilst I do this. I think I've got someone watching. Hello, whoever you are. I can't see because the computer's over the other side of the room. I should have allowed anyone to use the chat function. If not, I apologise and I'll try and sort that out. So this blank, I think, is an Enigma blank. So it's a combination of purples, greens and oranges. And I've just received the delivery of Brooks blanks as well, who I believe is at the DC Pen Show at the moment as we speak. I got my order in just before they closed up shop for the pen show. So just going to check to make sure that people can. Right, so it should be in followers only chat should be off, so anyone can. Hello, Mr. Till. How are you? Hopefully the sound and everything's all right. If it's not, God knows what's gone on to YouTube. You're good. Thank you for letting me know. I've actually got a Brooks blank you might like, Mr. Till. I'll see if I can find it in a minute. In fact, I've probably got a few. One of them's on more blue side than teal, though. I still like it. There's those ones. Let's see if I can. Not used to this camera setup still, as you can see. My brain can't get around it being all backwards. And I'm going to need some more third lot of sandpaper at some point. So as usual, pretty chill stream. I'll answer any questions that come up, but most of it's I'll be concentrating mainly on the pen making, but any questions that come up at all, I will answer them. I'm still very new to this side of things. I've only been doing this for 2 weeks, so things might be a bit rough around the edges. The pen making I've been doing for a number of years, but the streaming is what I've been doing for 2 weeks. Let's see if I can change that camera setting a little bit. Is it better with that? No. Maybe need to move that a little bit. That looks a little bit better. I think when I sell a few more pens, I might get some more lighting. Get a magnetic light to put on the lathe. So this design is what I call Aphrodite. Most of my designs, well, all of them, are named after mythological figures, normally gods and goddesses. So this is an Aphrodite. The one with the sort of wingtip sort of design on the end is the Icarus. And then the sections are named after the primary mythologies that I draw the names for the pen shapes from. So Norse, Roman, and Greek. So with these ones, the hardest bit to do, or to get all the scratches out of, is these bits. So what I might do now, just to preempt the upcoming bit, is just run the sandpaper quickly over flat edges to try and get rid of any deep scratches straight away. Because I do all of my shaping with files, it leaves quite deep scratches, which means the sanding process can prove to be quite difficult. So that's why I have a big roll of very coarse sandpaper that most pen makers would not bother using, because a lot of pen makers use wood lathes so they can get the tools to do the curves and things. I don't tend to use a wood lathe because it's just, the tooling is quite expensive and I can't afford it. So I do my shaping with the metal lathe. It isn't really set up to do curves. But on a wood lathe, doing curves and things is relatively easy. But you lack repeatability on a wood lathe because it's all hand tools. Whereas on a metal lathe, it's set up for repeatability straight away. There's so many bits of measuring equipment. I do all my polishing on the wood lathe because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 active polishing wheels. Yeah, I'm still not 100% whether I'm going to polish the inside of this one. It's not really going to add much to the look of it if I do. Because you've got the big bits of copper, and then there's just slight bits of translucent green peeking through. So all that's going to happen if I polish the inside is they'll just be a little bit clearer. I don't think it's needed for this particular one. I'm going to need a drink in a minute. Let's see if I can spot any more deep scratches in those bits, or whether they'll... I'm going to have to... I'm not liking the texture I'm getting off of that. Right, okay. What I might do is get some fresh liquid. See if we can get rid of that texture that's showing up. Most of the time I like my pens to be polished to a quite high shine. So if there's odd textures, that will sort of impede that. Yeah, I can see the chat. I have to keep the screen on because sometimes the camera randomly pauses, which is a pain in the backside. And there's also yesterday, I'm trying my hardest not to swear when that happens. Sometimes it gets the better of me.
Is that number one?
Number one what? Right, now hopefully that texture has gone. I'll be able to tell once I wipe off all of this, I don't know what to call it really, sanding goo. I managed to nick one of those notebooks that you you gave to my missus at the pen show. I'm using it to write down story ideas, short story ideas, or well, long story ideas. I've just come up with a good one last night when I was lying in bed, failing to get to sleep. There you go. That annoying texture's gone now. Right, I'm gonna go get some more of that sandpaper. You know, I don't think my missus has given any to the girls, to be fair. Although she has just been down to Wilco's and bought them some sketchbooks, so I suppose there's that. Give them something to do over the summer holidays. Now, the Icarus is one of my favourite designs that I've done. But that's basically because I just like putting facets on pens. I still follow the what someone said to me. I think it was on Reddit when I first said that I was making pens. And he said, "I hope you just don't make boring cylinder shapes." Well, if you've seen some of my designs, pretty sure that I've followed that to its extreme. Let's get that dry so we can see if there's any scratches on it. I think we're good on that. What is this? So probably going to be going to about 4:30 today. And then I might, I don't know yet, I haven't decided, I might have a go at streaming a computer game later. What I might do is just run these end bits under a polish, just to make sure that we're getting all of the getting all the scratches out of them, which you can only really see once it's polished. Right, so I've now polished the ends. You should see there's a bit of a difference between, if I can get that to catch in the light. There we go. So that reflection in the end is a bit sharper than the barrel, which hasn't been polished. But let's see if I can. Yeah, there's still scratches in them. Put that aside for later. So what we'll do is we'll do this one. We'll do the same as what I did before with checking the facets for scratches with the polish. Then I'll go back and I'll do this one. Once I've done that, we'll then go on to the caps and section. Start with the caps. Point. I need a no. They all need standard. See if it's got that texture that the other one came up with. Again, I'm not going to polish the inside of this one because there's quite an opaque blue in here, so you'll only get random little swirls of see-through. Sometimes it can look quite nice, but for the most part it doesn't really add anything. And I begrudge charging people extra for something that doesn't add anything to the pen. If they ask for it though, that's a different matter entirely. But for stock pens, I'm not going to charge you extra if it doesn't add any extra to the pen. Nice. I hope you have fun with that. See if we can get one of these without any major scratches on it after polish. What's the band called? Sorry about this. I was just checking something. Right, so this is the last sand on this one. We'll just polish the end of it again, like we did the other one, and then we shall just check for scratches. As I said, sometimes you can only see the scratches once it's polished. And we'll go from there. Hopefully there won't be any, but with the facet, it's going to be unlikely. Right, so back in just a second. This won't take long. Let's get this under the light again. Well, bottom. Yeah, still loads of scratches over it. So those three, just the end bits. Barrels are fine, but just the end bits will have to be done again. This one, however, the whole barrel needs to be done again from scratch because there are scratches. Get a big old chunky bit of sandpaper. So this one is actually one of the Roman designs. It's called Aequitas. Which is designed to be the end of the cap and the end of the barrel to be pretty much the same, equal and balanced. I'm not doing any metal work on any of these pens at the moment. I just want to get a nice stock of just standard model pens, just for pen shows and stuff. I've got 80 odd pens in stock at the moment. I've just filled one box. I've got another box that I can fill which has 80 slots in, along with custom pens as well that I do for people. Like this one, for example. So this one's going to end up being matte finish because I didn't want anything shiny. Just fine. I personally think the two would look better with a gloss finish, but then I prefer gloss pens. Each to their own, you know. So we're going to get a new bit of sandpaper to do the cross sanding because I know there are scratches in this. We're going to do a bit more than I would usually do. I might have to change what I'm listening to in a minute because I need something with a bit more pep to it, I think. So, Bernardo, what was the name of that band? I shall have a listen. Right. My hand is cramping up, so that's enough sanding with that grit. So I'm going to clean it off, have a quick look under the light to make sure I've got rid of all those scratches that I found last time. I've still got the lateral scratch around the top there. We've got some scratches around the tip. And there's one there, a couple there. So hopefully we'll be able to get rid of those. Dead fish now in my ears. Cool. Hello, other person. So just sanding pen. We're going to be finishing this one off, then moving on to the caps. Once we've done the caps and the sections, we're going to be redoing the tips of these because they've still got scratches on. And then I'll be pausing the camera, moving the setup over to the polishing wheels, and I will be polishing them all up. And then hopefully, as long as there's no scratches on them, that'll be done. And hopefully we'll get all that done by 4:30. So I've got an hour. Well, looking at it, I probably won't get it all done by 4:30 now because it's a lot of work, but I'll try. So I'm going to go quite slowly around this cross standing because again I know there are scratches. It's quite hard to talk when you're doing this bit. I was going to have a drink of coffee. Forgot about that. Right, and leave that to liquid to dry a little bit so that it exposes any scratches or deep scratches. Right, let's have a look. So those lateral scratches, sorry, those circular scratches up this end have gone. The other one was around here somewhere. There it is. It's still there, but it's faded a lot. And the ones on the tip seem to have gone as well, apart from the very tip, but they'll be sorted out with the polish. So I'm doing streams like this normally. Well, I try and do it most days. Sometimes I'm not really feeling up to it, but I try and do it most days. I think I've done most days this week now. Let's think. Yeah, and we've made 10 or 11 pens overall. That's 10 pens overall. 4 different designs, including this one. Started off with plain blanks, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pots of blanks to do. So that should see us through for a few weeks. And I've just got some more blanks turned up from America. Yeah, I can do that. whoever's doing the Urushi might not like you, but yeah. I've been tempted to make one specifically to get Urushi for my own collection as well. Bit pricey though. I can't really afford it at the moment. I can't afford to take that money out of the business to get it done, especially if it's just for me. I mean, it might be good to have as a display piece for pen shows and whatnot. Like, I know one of the vintage guys. He has his own collection in with his vintage stuff that he just uses for display. It's a good way to think about it. Who is it that does the pen painting rather than the Urushi? I know someone does pen painting, so it'd be quite cool to have like a like quilt squares, but each facet of that model of pen. So each depicting something that the person that's commissioning it puts forward to the artist. So if I had that, there'd be one which would blatantly just have a Ghostbusters logo on it. Do like a bit of Ghostbusters. Yeah, that's him. I imagine that would be very expensive though. Very cool, but very expensive. I'm just sort of eyeing up my Ebonite collection now. Okay. Yeah, I've very nearly sent Ruth 5 baseless to get Urushi for a pen show. I just never got round to it. They take me quite a long time to make. I mean, it's 12 hours from beginning to end for each one. So I've got some that I want to make for October. Whether I'll get round to it, I don't know. I want to try and clear off my waiting list for October. So there's a scratch there. Oh, camera's paused. That's better. I haven't done it, but I'm thinking of doing it. No, I haven't pulled the trigger on that one yet. Because I know it'll take Ruth quite a while to do it as well. Right, so that's all the barrels done. So I've got 2 of these things. I've got one with a little mark there, so that's for single start threads, and I've got one for triple start, which doesn't have a mark. So make sure I get the right one in. Don't want to be knackering the threads at this stage. Can I say knackering on Twitch? I don't know. go from yeah, but these get uploaded up to the YubTubs. I know that they're a bit stricter over there. But I think we're, what, an hour into the video, so it should be fine. Plus, I don't really want to get into the habit. If I start off with a rule of minimise the swearing, it gives me something to think about, as I have to think about loopholes. My current loophole is Cockney rhyming slang. What I said was I'm transferring these videos over to YouTube, so they're a bit stricter over there, and it just gives me something to think about, thinking of loopholes to get around it. So the current loophole is Cockney rhyming slang. So this blank is by Turnt. Can't remember what it's called, but it's a nice mix of greens, oranges and yellows. I suppose I could ask my missus and use Welsh swear words as well. Then I can count on one hand how many people that I know of that have the chance of watching this the stream or the YouTube uploads and be able to understand them. Had a bit of that's what I'm looking for. A bit of hesitation there, as I couldn't remember which pot of sandpaper I was on. Genuinely surprised I haven't hit my thumb on the chuck yet. Now I wonder what has changed since yesterday, because yesterday the camera was pausing all the time, and today it's paused once in an hour. Although now I've said that, I've already paused about 5 or 6 times in about 10 minutes. Not that I'm cynical or anything. Yeah, we're going to have to do the end of that before we go forwards. And what did I say? Okay. There's not a lot I can do about the custom pen form at the moment. Can you just drop me a message and I'll get my missus to have a look at it, because she does that thing. Okay, cool. Well, then I'll put that into the custom form with your details, just so that it's on the books. And then I'll get, if I have a problem with it, then I can see it happening, and we'll go from there. And I knew the camera would stop as soon as I said it wasn't stopping. That texture again. Right, let's see if we can get rid of it on the next round. Mr. Teal, what colour ebonite did you want? Because I'll have a look. If it's anything other than black, I'll have a look through my collection and see if I've got the one that you want. Otherwise, I might have to go and get some black from somewhere. I'm not sure if I've got any at the moment. I should have. I think I have. Haha. I'll have a quick look. Okay. One stick of black ebonite. And that texture is still there. Right, so I'm going to go back down to the rough one, and I'm just going to do some cross sanding to see if I can get rid of that texture. Gone. Right. I'm being careful with these this design because there's literally nowhere to hide, because it's just a cylinder. There's very little room to maneuver when it comes to the finish, so it needs to be perfect. Bit like black ebonite, really. Black ebonite will show up any tiny little scratch. So that looks a bit. I'm going to be working tomorrow as well. I might just have a day off and work on Sunday whilst I'm waiting for the roast dinners to cook. So this material is acrylic rather than Alumilite, which is what we've been making so far. Acrylic is a little bit different. It's a harder material. It will come up. It will finish quite well. The shine you get on acrylic is fantastic. But again, like black ebonite, it's going to show up every single little scratch. So first of all, go over the really coarse one to get rid of any lumps and bumps. And we've got some scratches on the end still. Might as well get rid of those now, rather than leaving to the finer grits, which might not get rid of them completely. The only problem with using this sandpaper is the dust, because it's dry sanding. You don't get a slurry, which is the word I was looking for earlier. You get dust. It gets in the air, down your lungs, makes you cough. And probably isn't very good for you. Okay, so there's still swirls on the end there. give it a go from there. I wouldn't be surprised if there's still a load of scratches in this. So if you're curious, when I sand, I'll sand and I'll generally have a finger against the material as well when I sand, sort of underneath it like that, or next to it, so I'll have my thumb running up and down there, because you can sometimes feel whether there are any deep scratches or there are holes or whatever. You can feel when your sandpaper has done its work. And I was stupid and dropped the sandpaper, I didn't need to. So here, for example, I've got that finger underneath it, this on top of it, going back and forth. Just testing the texture of the material. Looking good. So some scratches you can leave in because the polish will fill up those scratches. That's generally why I only go up to 1500 grit when I've got polish to do afterwards, because the polish has got its grip to itself. And so what you end up doing, if you go too far, say you go up to 4000 grit and you use a polish that is 800 grit, what you're doing is you're sanding it up to 4000, and then you're using a polish which has got a much coarser grip, so you're introducing scratches with the polish. It's all about finding that sweet spot of getting rid of the scratches with sandpaper and then applying a polish to shine it up, which takes practice. And also, when you're re-sanding things, say for example these, I can look at those scratches and say, okay, well that's only a very minor scratch, so I only have to go back to 2 steps rather than go back all the way, or 4 steps, to get rid of the scratches. So with each of those, I'll be going back 2 steps from the highest grip. So I'll be going the highest grip and the one before it, basically, and then repolishing. So it's not as disastrous as it first may seem. I wonder what this is. We've got half an hour left, roughly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lids to do and 10 sections, and re-sand, re-pens a little bit, and then polishing. I think polishing is going to have to be done tomorrow or Sunday. I don't think I've done a stream on a weekend yet. I'll see if I get more interaction if I'm doing it at a weekend. I know time-wise, the times I'm streaming aren't exactly great for some people, which is fine. I appreciate anyone that watches either here or on YouTube. Alright, so this should be this one done, ready to be polished. And I'll go and grab the barrel so you can see. Let's put that side, see if I can get better. There we go. Right, so we've got some semi-deep scratches on that. So again, the coarse stuff just to sort of even out the level of the material before we go on. Right, so that we've still got some. We've got that texture back again, but that should go with the finer grits. Now we know how to get rid of it. Shouldn't be a problem. So I think next time what I'm going to do, or next load of points that I choose, because I'm basically working through all my models that I do, making sure that I've got like 3 or 4, and then I'm going to, because I'm making all these smaller runs across all of the models, so that I can then possibly go through the blanks and choose a bunch for doing thicker ones and chunkier ones. Sort of ones more that size. I might only make 1 or 2 of each of the big ones though, because I know that the smaller ones will probably sell, but I'm not entirely sure that the massive ones will. We'll give it a go and see. I mean, I think they will if I get size 8 nibs, but they're expensive, and I don't particularly want to add on the price of the size 8 nibs and basically make it so that some people can't afford them, because that's just, to me, counterintuitive. I'd rather make them for a steel nib and keep the price point down a bit. I mean, I can always make the size 8 ones for customs, or I can, if they're my own blanks, for example, I could just make another blank and make a size 8 section for that particular pen and drill out a little bit more. I might make some blanks on stream as well at some point, some simple ones. Some of the more weirder pigments I've got, like the heat reactive ones. So I know I've got an order for a heat reactive one, so I need to make the blanks. And I've got the resin in, so I might do that. And I've got some stuff coming up where I need a lot of resin, so I might get through this lot, make what I can, and get some of the stuff done that I need to get done as well. I mean, nothing I do is on these streams is rocket science. And you can find out how to do most of it by just Googling it. It's not as if I'm sharing company secrets or whatever. I don't think I have any company secrets. I think the only pens I won't make on stream is the betaless ones with all the facets, because that would just be really dull. Can't think anyone that'd be interested in watching a stream of about, what, 8 to 12 hours long, that's mostly just sanding flat edges over and over and over again by hand rather than a machine. I mean, even this is pretty dull, and that's why I'm constantly talking, because I'm sort of trying to fill my head with entertain myself as well as talking to whoever may turn up. And of course I've got Spotify going through my head, and that sort of helps a little. Just finished a bit of Rage Against the Machine. It's always good. "15 minutes remaining." Right, so with this one, I just noticed there's a tiny scratch across it, but we'll see if we can get that out with the polish. Keep picking that one up for some reason. I'll do another one of these. Got some of the orange marker to get rid of. And I think that'll be it. Yes, we've got 13 minutes left. This has got a... Oh, this is the one that I thought that I may have drilled through to the other side. Right, so what I'll do... a flat surface. That'll do. Now, will this be? Yeah, that's still this side. I can see the top of the drill bit hole. Okay, so we are still... Right, okay. So this is going to be cutting it fine. Might spend the next bit of time just doing this rather than getting anywhere with it. So I want to get this right. I don't want to cock it up and basically ruin a pen. What I might do is just put a file on it. So I've got to find a small fine file for when stuff like this happens, because it does happen occasionally. And all I do is just adjust it slightly. See if that's got it. Almost. A little bit more. So I want to keep the sharp edges on this. Basically, that sharp edge I want to keep as much as possible. There we go, that's got it. So now, just to get rid of swirling caused by that file, just a little bit of cross sanding, very gently. Last thing I want to do is break through. So yeah, that'll... This cap will not be polished from the inside. Well, if I do, I'll only polish this bit. I won't, sand. I won't sand this top bit, so I really don't want to risk that. get rid of that bit of orange. And it should be ready to go. I'll finish off this one. I'll go a little bit longer than... Yeah, it's going to take me longer than 8 minutes to sand this. So we'll finish this off. I'm not leaving the job half done. That's a good pain in the backside when I come back to do it tomorrow or Sunday. Got a new computer game to play, and so I want to get into that, and I might stream it. Well, that might irritate my better half. I think this is going to be mostly see-through anyway. I'm not going to need to sand the inside. Bit of slip knot, good. Yeah, it looks like it just needs a little bit of a clean on the inside of this cap, and it'll be pretty clear. That's good to know. Was this the... I think this was the one that we ended up boring out, because it was there was chipping on the inside of the barrel. And for the first time today, I just hit the chuck with my thumb, and that hurt. Not bad. Hour and 45 minutes in, and it's first, well, I won't say accident, because it wasn't an accident. It wasn't even near miss. It was just a little bit of a cock up. I suppose the real test is going to be whether I can shine a light through this. I wonder if I'll be able to block off all the light from the source I have, and shine some light on the gunk tray. And the edges are so clear that it might just shine out the sides. Let's look in. What am I doing? Oh, 28. Won't be a bad guess if I get this done dead on past. Right. Okay, I'm quite happy with the way this has turned out, actually, because that is so. Yeah, that's pretty clear. Right, that's it for today. So, end of the day, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 caps to do. And what I'm going to have to do is either make or see if I've got an extra tool to do this one, because the thread size is different to the rest of them. And then sections. That looks quite good. Anyway, yeah, sections. So there's 10 in there, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 10. That's it. So hopefully that'll be done tomorrow or Sunday. I haven't made my mind up yet. All right. Cheers. See you again. Thank you for turning up, those of you that did. Take care. Have a good weekend.